Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, March 9th, and today we have a little bit longer of a workout, but you're going to be doing 8 minutes on, 8 minutes off, all right? So 40 minutes total. The first 8 minutes you're gonna do an AMRAP. So you're gonna be running 200 meters, doing 10 dumbbell push press, and then 10 dumbbell front squats for the first 8 minutes, as many rounds as you can get there. Those are going to be ideally with two, either guys 50-pound dumbbells or ladies 35. Scale that appropriately. The push press and the front squats, you should be able to get 10 unbroken still, okay? By the end of that 8 minutes, if those front squats or push press need to be broken up, we'd rather you go heavier than just knocking out 17 rounds in that 8 minutes. Not possible, I know. I shouldn't say that. Anything's possible. After that, you're going to rest 8 minutes. So plenty of time to recover. I suggest you stretch or, move around. Don't just sit down and tighten up, because you're going to go right into another 8 minutes of another AMRAP. It's going to be 10 jumping lunges, 10 hand release push-ups, and 5 strict pull-ups. Okay, we're going to go over the modifications or ways to customize those as we warm up. You're gonna rest another 8 minutes, which is gonna seem really long, but probably really appreciated. And then you're going to go for your last AMRAP in 8 minutes, 10 weighted box step-ups, 10 weighted knee raises. Even if you have toes to bar and all that, we're gonna go weighted knee raises today. Pretty brutal if you do them correctly. And then we're gonna do 5 dips, whichever types of dips that we're doing that you're capable of at this point, okay? So I have a lot of items. If you do not already have your stuff, you're going to need a box, some rings or a bench, your pull-up bar, a ball, a med ball, your dumbbells, as well as possibly a band, depending on how you're customizing today, all right? So you should have all those things ready to go. We're gonna start off, we're gonna do 10 box step-ups. Whenever you do these box step-ups, you never want your knee to be way higher than your hip, okay? And you also don't wanna bounce off of the ground with that back foot. So nice and controlled, waking up that glute and hamstring, stepping up, stepping back down. Do 5 on one side and 5 on the other, whether that's alternating for you or whether it's 5 and 5. I lose count when I start talking too much. Or that's one on each side. There we go. Okay. If you are able to get inverted, if you don't have any vertigo or anything like that, we're going to pike on the box, and we're going to get 10 total shoulder taps in that pike position, making sure your hips are over your shoulders are over your wrist, all right? If you need to go to your knees for these, again, it's a warm-up, so don't go crazy, all right? So knees would be here, pike would be here. So 10 total there. After you're done with those, come out of that, take a breath, let that blood rush through, especially if you're doing this early in the morning. It's probably a real wake up. Let's get 10 air squats. Ideally getting those hips below parallel. Depending on how tight you are, you might be working into this like I am. 7. Chest is staying up. Knees are never buckling. Driving through that full foot. All right, after your 10 air squats, we're now going to get a reverse lunge with a high knee. So this is what it's gonna look like. Chest always stays up. Knee never goes over that toe in your lunges. Here, all the way up. We're going to do 10 per side. 4, 5, 6. Try to get that knee high. Whoop, in between between the mats. 9, 10. All right. Switch sides. We're going to do 10 on the other side. 3. Drive through that glute. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if you guys can hear the woodpecker. We have so many woodpeckers out here. This one this morning is very active. Okay, the next thing we're going to do to work on getting our shoulders awake a little bit more with that pulling motion, we're going to get into a high plank, and we're going to do some dumbbell pull-throughs. So we're going to get a light dumbbell. Warm up, people. Warm up, okay? So you're going to start with the dumbbell outside your shoulders a few inches, getting to that plank position. Pull through as far as you can. Reach, pull through. 5 per side. Try not to rock those hips. I feel like that's a song somewhere. All right, take a breath. We're now going to go to your pull-up bar. You're gonna get a 20-second active hold. So active means we're staying in that hollow position, pointing those toes, not just letting our shoulders sink. The bar's really high. So I'm gonna climb up. Brian, can you count me 20 seconds? There we go. So again, not letting the shoulders drop down there. We fell. Keep going on your 20 seconds if our woodpecker in the wind. It's a little wild today. All right. As Brian gets me set back up here, you should be done with your 20-second hold. We're going to now go to your rings, okay? My rings are kind of high right here, so I'm going to jump into them. If you don't have rings, you can just work on actively pressing on a box or a bench. So if I were here, I would walk my feet out as far as I could, press, maybe lift a leg, maybe alternate legs. All right, something like that. If you do have rings, but don't necessarily have a 20-second hold, then you can keep one toe on the ground and just work on pressing as much as you can, keeping that external rotation in your hands. Here we go. 20 seconds. Pressing away. 15. 20. All right. So we're going to go ahead and grab on to those light dumbbells. If you were warming up with your 35s or 50s, I don't suggest it. If that's all you have, just do body weight again. So you can put these dumbbells anywhere. It does not say farmer's hold today, so farmers would be here. You can hold these dumbbells here if you want. Some people do this number. Whatever floats your boat, I guess we'll go with. All right, so 5 per side again. Remember, we're not dropping our chest and driving from here. We're keeping that chest high, driving, okay? Do 10, do 5 per side. I've noticed that stepping down off a box is when my ankle decides to trick me, so I'm not gonna try to do that and talk through that. Take your time on those. Make sure your form is good. All right. Shake that out. Take a breath. We're now just going to do 10 reverse lunges, okay? All waking up your glutes and your hamstrings for the jumping lunges, for the box step-ups, all amazing unilateral work. So here we go. Reverse lunge. Knee touches ideally. If you're not able to get your your knee down, maybe have a target. Stepping right back up, switching. 2. Doing 5 per side. My knees possibly crack worse than Brian's. Pre-CrossFit, don't worry. All right, lunges, knocked out. Now we're going to go to an activated knee raise hanging, okay? So if you're used to just doing your toes to bar, using that kip and all that, that's fantastic. But can you hold a knee raise? Or do weighted knee raises? All right, so getting here, lifting those knees, staying activated throughout the shoulders, 20 seconds. If you maybe need to lift one knee, if 2 is too difficult for you right now, it's perfectly fine. 5, 2, 1, rest. Shake that out. All right, so we warmed up all of the muscles that we need to. Now we're gonna go over our movements and our points of performance, okay? So the first one we're gonna go over are the dumbbell push press. So you're going to have both of those dumbbells on your shoulders. You're going to dip down and back slightly, lock out, press up, all right? Make sure you are not making this a lock out and then strict press up, okay? This is dip, press. Use those hips, especially with those heavier weights. Get 10. Nope, get 3. Just don't do 10. You don't need to do 10. Do 3 of those. All right, we're gonna go right in to our dumbbell front squats, okay? Dumbbells in that front rack position, keeping that chest up, trying to hit below parallel, doing 3. There we go. Set those dumbbells down. I'm going to, again, demonstrate 2 jumping lunges. If you do not have jumping, or if it becomes too tasking on you, then you can do reverse as well today, okay? So jumping, we wanna make sure we're all the way down and we open up those hips all the way at the top. Boom, boom, okay? We don't want to stay down here and do this, all right? So go ahead, knock out 4 per side, jumping lunges. All right, then we're gonna go for hand release push-ups. So hand release, you really wanna focus on your entire body staying rigid, okay? You never just wanna flop to the ground. So I get here, I'm going all the way down, my hands come off the ground, I'm not just relaxing, my toes are staying on the ground, all right? And then I'm pressing straight back up. Down, hand release, straight back up. Everything's popping. And then 1 more, total of 4. Nice and controlled there. Okay, if you have strict pull-ups, go ahead and do your strict pull-ups. You're gonna get 2. Remember, there is 0 kip to this. Straight up, chin over the bar, fully lock out at the bottom. If you have rings, you're just going to get 4 ring rows, nice and controlled, never letting my hips sag. I'm not kipping up, staying tight. Fully locking out every single time so we don't blow up our biceps. Okay, then we're going to grab either your medicine ball, or if you feel comfortable putting a dumbbell in between your knees, you can do that as well. I'm going to use, not in between your knees, that would feel awkward. In between your feet with your dumbbell. I'm gonna climb up here. Ball is going in between my knees. I'm squeezing, I'm also trying to reach. Pull over, get this. And then we're gonna do 4 weighted knee raises. All the way up, all the way extended, okay? All the way up, all the way extended. get you that full range of motion. And then your dips. If you have ring dips, you can knock out 4. If you do not have rings, go ahead and knock out 4 bench or box dips. If you want to see a modification for ring dips, stay tuned. Get my setup here. This is the only band we have out right now. So you're going to just kind of hold on to the bands. If you're doing this, try to loop your thumb around as much as you can. Believe me, I've been hit in the face with a band. Doesn't feel good. Whoop. Maybe I need a little more. All right. So, my bands are too close together, Brian. Brian, help me. It's too tall for me to jump into with the band in my foot. Can you just demonstrate them, please? Vanna Nedab. Okay. So again, he's going to loop those in. Get his hands secure there. He puts them on the other side of his hands, which is pretty smart. And he's going to stand, so this keeps you in your hollow position. I'm going to stop him from rocking. And then, ideally, he's just going to go down. Boom, right there. If your feet touch, that's fine. Most likely, your rings are a little bit higher. Okay, thank you, sir. So, those are your movements today. Make sure you build up that weight a little bit on the box step-ups and on those front squats. Don't just jump into 50 or 35. And enjoy this next 40 minutes of work, guys. Make sure you're stretching and drinking water in between those 8 minutes of rest.